With
Tim
Key. Hello.
Hello, Emma.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
So I've got a really lovely intro for you.
Perfect.
I kind of switched it up there.
Now would be the moment.
Okay.
Let's
Sitting
see.
with me now.
Here it comes.
I feel like I should do this Alan Partridge style after last night, but I'm not going to because I'm not very good at that. Multi-talented comedian, author, TV star, writer and poet.
Love that. Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's also got a brand new book on poetry out now called Chapters.
Yes.
Now, when you hear yourself introduced with so many things that you can do you think, wow, I'm pretty good?
Yeah, I've got quite an array. I think it's
An
because
array of talents.
Well, an array of. It's the sort of jack of all type thing, isn't it?
No.
I think when I started, I kind of. The thing is, I don't know how quickly did you get successful?
Well, I started in telly in 2004.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I started doing anything in about 2001.
Yeah.
But it just takes time. And so I think I kind of was just keeping all of the balls in the air.
So what did it actually start with?
Started with
comedy, right? Started with comedy.
Yeah.
And did you always know you wanted to be a comedian?
Oh, God, no.
So how
sort
do
of
you
creeps up on you.
how do you suddenly go,
I know.
I'm quite funny, I'm going to be a comedian?
It's mad, isn't it? I don't know how that happened. I mean, the whole thing is quite surreal because, I used to do like plays
Yeah.
and things at school.
Yeah.
But that's not quite the same.
No.
And then...
But were you doing plays and had really good comedy timing?
Oh, yeah, I was funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really funny.
And then you're like, forget the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
I want to be by myself being funny.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, these people can relax. I need to just clear away some of this set, get a mic here.
Yeah.
No, that was kind of, that came about 2 or 3 years into it. I did a sketch show and, pretty funny.
Yeah.
Went quite well. I think that final piece of the jigsaw, comedy-wise, is standing up on your own in front of an audience and just kind of, it's quite a gladiatorial.
I mean, it's to me, it looks and sounds like the most terrifying thing to do when you are an entertainer.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's sort of, you gradually get better at it. I did it for, I think I did 10 goes in a row at the start where it was terrible. Right. And I was dying a lot. Yeah. One time I was doing
But surely that builds your character, right?
No, it destroys your character. I was demolished.
It gives you that hard shell that you need.
It doesn't. I was absolute dust by the end of that. There was one time where I was doing a gig and it wasn't going very well. And then I saw out of the corner of my eye the promoter, who's also the host, just starting to walk towards me down the aisle. And then he just stood right in front of me. So I was sort of just finishing stuff over the top of his head. And pin drop silence. And it's kind of. I think if it hadn't worked out, it would have absolutely broken me. Looking back on it, when I sort of tried to do this thing and couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really do it, and then I kind of stopped for a year or two, and then came back with poetry.
Yeah.
Poetry and comedy, and that really, the whole thing was sorted then.
And I mean, to my knowledge, there aren't many comedy poets.
No, not many.
So that's a good thing, right? You've got your own little...
I've got my own little niche, yeah.
You have.
And I think after a while, people would sort of think, I can't really do that because he does that.
Were you always into poetry?
No.
So you were never into comedy or poetry?
No, I hate them both.
A comedy
No, I
poet.
wanted to be a footballer. I haven't given up. I scored 4 goals last night.
Did you play last night?
Yeah, 5-a-side. Shall I talk you through them?
What, each goal?
Oh, no, you don't want to hear it.
I don't.
No.
I want to talk about comedy and poetry.
Yeah,
I
right.
also want to talk about something else that you did last night. I know you didn't actually do it last night, but you were on telly last night for Red Nose Day, and there was a brilliant sketch with you and Steve Coogan.
Yeah.
Now, if you take yourself back to that guy who felt like they were dying on stage in 2001, and then fast forward to that moment, you're with kind of one of the comedy greats, really, doing a sketch show on Red Nose Day.
It is insane. I used to watch Red Nose Day when it was like...
Well, we all did, right? We grew up with it.
When it was Lenny Henry.
Yeah.
It's still Lenny Henry.
Yeah.
But the first one, I used to have a cap, the first one I remember, you could buy a cap and the peak of the cap came out by about 3 feet.
Yeah.
I used to love that.
And you could also get a red nose for the front of your car.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And you genuinely would look forward to it. I mean, I guess I would have been like in my teens, like 13 or 14. And be like, can't wait for Red Nose Day.
Yeah.
It is mad to be on that.
So how did that come about?
Yeah, but this is like, it's like quite a massive thing that it's not arbitrary that it's not just that Steve Coogan's famous or a really amazing comedian. Here's like the absolute sweet spot of why I kind of got into comedy. Mm-hmm. I liked other stuff like Morecambe and Wise or The Two Ronnies before that.
Yeah.
But when it came to like watching stuff sort of not with your parents and you're kind of into something when you're 17, that was those guys, Steve Coogan and Chris Morris, Armando Iannucci, Rebecca Front, Doom McKeegan, all of them. Yeah. So I was obsessed. I was like quoting it all the time with my friends and things. I was a nerd. And then about maybe 15 years later, I get asked to be his sidekick in a new incarnation of it. So when you ask, how was that? It is really, really surreal. It's all, and it still is. Yeah. It's all, like all the other stuff I've done, and I kind of do some stuff I really love doing and work with really interesting people. And then sometimes people ask if I'm ever starstruck. Once, and it's Steve Coogan, and I still am.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's just the kind of perfect storm of just, and it's the fact that I think it would be a little bit easier if he did that 15 years ago, and now he's doing a new show where he's a detective or something, and I'm helping him out. It's just the fact that he's dressed like Alan Partridge that doesn't help. and you're in a studio like this, like a radio studio, and you're just sat next to
your hero, one of your comedy heroes.
Your hero, dressed as the thing that you love
that drew
so much.
You to him,
So it's very strange and kind of a weirdly high pressure, particularly when I first started doing it, because you don't want to ruin it.
Yeah,
you don't want to be the person who, now. Well, I guess when it came out, there was no internet. But I think if it had been really bad when it came back, there's enough internet and enough social media for everyone to decide. Well, I can see what's changed. That guy's in it now, and it's terrible.
But that's not the case.
No, people are very nice about it.
Good.
And a lot of people say their favourite stuff is the new stuff, the stuff where once I was in. Yeah. I think they're of a certain generation.
Love it. But people really prefer the new stuff now, the stuff that I'm in.
I think the younger people do. I kind of fight back and say...
it's brought it to a new generation,
I kind of feel like it was... Yeah, my favourite incarnation is the I'm Alan Partridge stuff and the Knowing Me and Knowing You stuff.
Yeah.
But it does work, and it's kind of... Yeah, they're very clever. The writers are very clever, and Steve's very clever at just kind of growing. And I don't know, there's not really another example of a character that kind of, grows through as the years go through. He moves with the years, and now he's a guy who's sort of struggling with woke and struggling with his glasses on a chain and stuff. Where when he first started, he was like he was playing a bit older than he was probably, but he was like a guy in his 30s. Yeah. And now he is like a guy in his probably 10 years older than Steve. Yeah. But it's getting Steve and Alan Partridge are starting to get there's not as much clear water as he'd like, I don't think now.
No. I love the fact that you've just mentioned the chain on the glasses, because I have just got one.
Great.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I think they're retro though now. I think they're kind of in. They're a thing.
Look, they're practical. You don't want to lose your glasses any more than anyone
and
else
I
does.
always do, and they're always on my head.
Yeah.
So enough about Steve Coogan and a little bit more about this.
Ah, yes, the book.
You can't actually see what I'm holding up, but I'm holding Tim's book in my hand, which is called Chapters, and it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's a pocket book, right? However...
Here we go.
Fits in my tiny... Oh, I've just dropped everything.
Everything's gone.
Fits in my tiny handbag.
Fits in your tiny handbag, but also, however, fits in my tiny pocket.
Fits in your tiny pocket.
Yep.
So,
and weirdly, that was the sort of starting point. Me and Emily Juniper, who designs the book, we decided we wanted a book that could fit in your tiny pocket.
Okay. Has she designed all of your books?
Yes. Well, all of the ones, the last three. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And she's a phenomenon.
And I got this in the post, actually. I had this sent to me, and I was like, oh, I like this. So obviously you can't see, but it folds out, doesn't it? The cover folds out. And then it's a conversation between you and Emily.
Yeah.
Which I think the poetry is fab because it's quite bonkers and random.
Yeah.
But the little conversations that are put in between you and her are brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
Really loved it.
Well, yeah. It's kind of, I do like other bits of writing and things, but I kind of love doing this because it's sort of, I really like writing dialogue.
Yeah.
And I really like writing poems.
Yeah.
And I really get vexed about things like plot and storyline and people bossing me about and telling me there's a deadline. So this kind of means I do all that stuff over there somewhere.
Yeah.
And then when I'm doing this, it's just me and Emily.
Yeah.
And just writing little dialogues in my notebook and then typing them up and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of, it should feel like it's kind of, it should feel kind of quite easy and quite like it sort of flows quite well, because I've basically enjoy writing those little dialogues.
Yeah. And it feels like it's a peek into your brain.
Probably is
as well.
Yeah.
How does poetry come to you? So is it one of those, when it happens, or is it like, you know, when a band goes on a writing trip? Do you have to kind of take time out to sit down and really think about poetry, or is it a spontaneous, I've suddenly got a thought and I'm going to write it down?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture. So I feel like there are some bits where I just kind of have an idea that just flashes into my head, and then I'll just write it in my notes in my phone, and then when I get to a cafe or somewhere, I can write it up. But I think I write a lot in the pub.
Hold
Not
on,
in a bad
when
way.
you've just got there or just before you leave?
I like to go, if I'm not doing anything of an evening, or if I'm free, I like to go for last orders. So I'll just go to the pub at 10:30,
Right.
get a pint, sit there with my notepad, and then I can write, 4 or 5 little poems, maybe some ideas I've had earlier in the day.
Yeah.
But also that sometimes manifest itself that I'm writing 4 or 5 poems that are all about the pub as well.
Right.
But I kind of look around and there's something, I'll see something and think, okay, that, and there's no pressure because no one's asked me to do it.
Yeah.
And so if I leave the pub and I've written 5 and 3 of them will never be read by anyone, but there might be one where I kind of, when I'm writing it, I'm smiling and thinking, that's quite, I like it.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of only barometer you can have, is that it kind of tickles oneself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tickles oneself.
Yeah.
Just a few of the names of the poems that you've got in the book. Men Getting Stuck in Webs.
Yes.
Poems about the ancient city of Canterbury, and poems about canoodling with a rose.
Yeah, there is one about canoodling with a rose.
Was that created in the pub?
That was created in the pub. Have you got the page number for that one?
I don't, but
Canoodling with a
how
rose.
about we find it? Because you're not going anywhere.
No,
even though
I'm going nowhere. I'm
keep
with you for
asking
the rest of
what
the day,
time
actually.
that you're leaving.
Weirdly. Yeah.
You picked a song for us.
I did.
Which
is? She's a Rainbow by the Rolling Stones.
Is there a reason for this?
It's my favourite song. I can't remember where I was when I heard it, but I absolutely love it. And I used to do a radio show. I had a show on the radio years ago, and it was the theme tune to that. And I did a stage show where something really sad happened in the show, and then She's a Rainbow started playing. I think it's beautiful.
Okay, well, we're going to play it now. After that, we're going to play Little Wins, and maybe if we've got time, we'll have a bit of poetry.
Perfect.
The Rainbow, especially for Tim Key.
Yes.
You enjoy it?
I always enjoy it, yeah.
Good.
Thank you very much for doing that for me.
Good. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
You have got a little win for us, haven't you, this week?
Yes, I do have a little win, I think.
Go on. What's your little win?
My little win was I went to India last week.
Yeah.
And found ourselves on the top of a rooftop bar.
Yeah.
And didn't have my glasses. Mm-hmm. And anyway, glasses cost a lot of money, don't they?
They do.
Met a Dutch girl. The Dutch girl lives off grid, and she's a air hostess. And she recommended an optician.
Yeah.
On the road in Delhi that you could see from the rooftop bar. Went to the optician, tested my eyes, bought a pair of glasses, £23.
That's quite a few little wins there.
There's a lot. I'm still with the Dutch girl.
Well, you were in India,
Yeah.
which is a place I've never been and would love to go to.
Yeah, that's not a little win though. You have to pay for that.
Well, yeah, but you got to go there, right?
You'd
which
love
is lovely.
India. Yeah, you can do that.
You went to a rooftop bar, which sounds fantastic because spring is springing and we all want to get outside a bit more.
Always love a rooftop bar.
You met a girl.
Met a girl, yeah.
And you got a cheap pair of glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fun. That's a lot of little wins.
Yeah, that's about 5, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
The big. It's in one though.
Yeah.
We don't know who your competitor is yet, but we will find out shortly.
Okay.
But we're going to string it out a little bit longer. We're going to make you wait. We're going to make you sweat because we've got Sally with travel.
By the way, that is an amazing win, really.
It was a huge win.
A number of wins.
Yeah.
If I went, would I meet a Dutch guy in that bar? Do you think?
Well, I can send you to. It's called the Everest Rooftop Restaurant.
I'll make a note. And
Yeah.
Sally's going
before
away
you leave.
next week
Yeah,
now. M20 is with me. We've been chatting about his brand new poetry book, Chapters. Good morning. I've got Tim's last 3 books, including Chapters, which is great, and Emily Juniper's work is always beautiful. His first 2 with Emily were a great way to look back on the strangeness of the last 4 years in a humorous way, while still showing just how much all of our lives were impacted by COVID. Oh, and his live shows are actually... It doesn't say actually. Oh, and his live shows are also brilliant.
Well, that's very kind. Yeah.
Do you know this person? His name's Dave and he's from Leicester.
Yes, Uncle Dave. Yeah.
We've got loads of texts coming in for you, Tim, actually, so we'll read some more in a little bit. But now we need to play Little Wins.
Here we go.
So,
That's what we're here for.
your little win was an unexpected bargain, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
were on a trip last week in India in a rooftop bar. You met an air hostess.
Liz. Yeah.
You liked the way she dressed.
Oh, I did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she lives off grid, but told you about a fantastic place to get a pair of glasses, and you got them for 20 quid.
Yep. 23.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
23 quid.
Oh, they're beautiful
It's
as well.
time to meet your competitor.
Oh, okay.
Steve from Stockport, are you there?
I am. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning, Steve. How are you on this fine Saturday?
It's beautiful up here in Manchester.
Oh, lovely. I wonder if it's
Yeah,
beautiful
sun-
everywhere today then.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. Sun's out.
Great. So can you take on Tim's little win?
Do you know what? I think I can take him on and I can beat him.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
there we go.
I mean,
There's about to be
it's
some
a
cheap
good-
glasses.
It's a good little win, but you do have to go to all the way to India to get that little win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on then, Steve. What's yours?
So, picture the scene. It's Sunday morning.
Yeah.
You're making breakfast.
Yeah.
And you're making bacon butties.
Yeah.
And we all know the perfect bacon sandwich is 2 rashers of bacon and a lovely white soft muffin, butter, red sauce. Pack of
Hold
bacon.
on. Whoa.
Go on.
We just got to stop you there because both
Go on.
Tim and I almost fell off our chair because you said red sauce.
Not the correct
You
answer.
see now-
Not
you
the
see
correct
now I'm-
answer.
Now I'm a brown sauce girl.
Brown sauce boy.
See, I'm a red sauce guy. My wife is brown sauce.
This
And
chat
that's
is
how
as
we are.
controversial as the cream and jam on a scone, isn't it?
It
Which
really
way
is.
around it goes. Anyway,
it is, and it does cause arguments at times when people put brown sauce on my bacon butty. But I go red.
okay.
My wife always goes brown.
Each to their
So
own.
Your wife's right.
Each
Carry
to
on.
their own. Yeah, my wife's always right.
Yep.
That's the way it always is. So, pack of bacon. Where I get my bacon from, certain brand shop, they have a pack of 7. Bit of an odd number.
Yeah.
But there you
Definitely
go,
an odd
'cause
number.
It's an odd number.
Yeah.
So I'm making bacon butties one Sunday morning, and I opens a pack, and there's only 8 rashers in it. I've got an extra rasher of bacon,
Oh.
which means because normally that lonely rasher just stays in the pack and it never gets used.
And it shrivels up in the bottom of the fridge.
Shrivels up in the bottom of the fridge
Yeah.
and it never gets used. It gets chucked away. But this particular Sunday morning, it meant that I could have an extra bacon sandwich.
Oh, so you get the extra sandwich.
Well, I'm making.
Not to your wife, who's always right.
Well, no, I'm making the bacon sandwiches, so clearly it goes to me.
Did you eat it secretly, crouched in the corner of your kitchen?
Of course I did. Before
Yeah,
I even
yeah.
took the bacon
Has to
sandwiches
be.
up to the wife.
Yep.
Yeah. So you make the bacon sandwich. You've got an extra rasher there. I'm putting it. I'm thinking, oh, there's an extra piece of bacon here. What? And my little world lit up because it meant I could put them all 8 of them in and cook them all and make 4 perfect bacon butties. One for me, one for my wife, one for my daughter. And then I got the extra one
And another
that
one
nobody
for
knew
you.
about.
Wow. You sound like my dad. He's always having extra bits of little food, little bits of grub.
That's a very big little win, isn't it?
It is a very two very
And I
big
didn't need to.
little
I didn't need
wins.
to go to India.
I don't know why I bothered.
Kitchen.
I should have
Okay.
just bought lots of packets of bacon and waited for one with 8 in.
Well, listen, we can argue this till the end of the show, or we can put the decision in the hands of the people that matter, which is the listeners. So who is going to be
Yeah.
going into the Hall of Fame? Is it going to be Tim grabbing a bargain buy with a cheap pair of glasses, sorry, not sunglasses, or is it going to be Steve's extra slice of bacon in his packet that doesn't normally exist there? text us 88 291, or you can WhatsApp us 08000 288 291. We'll reveal the winner right in the middle of Little Wins. So we asked the listeners,
Yes.
whose little win was better? Was it your unexpected bargain with the glasses that you found in the middle of India from a woman who lives off grid? Or was it Steve's extra slice of food in his packaging when there's only meant to be
Steve.
7, but he ended up with 8?
He hasn't helped himself with the sauces. Let's put it that way.
Lots of people have got in touch. Even more people got in touch about the sauce situation.
course.
However, we need to find out who has won this week's little win. Let's have a fanfare, please. Would you like to hear some of what people thought?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
get a summary.
Tim wins. That's from Jean in Derbyshire. No contest.
Yeah.
Tim's win in India is king. Cheap eye test and glasses wins every time. Winner for me is Tim. Got to be Tim.
Has to be.
As who throws bacon away? And then there was... it's got to be Steve. His little win with the extra bacon is genius. Obviously, the extra slice of bacon, that's the one for the win. Bacon every single time. They go on and on and on. But the winner this week is Steve.
I don't know why you're clapping.
Steve, are you still there?
I am still here, yeah.
How do you feel?
Glorious. Euphoric.
Good, I'm glad. You're going to go on the Wall of Fame, which is fantastic.
Oh, superb.
Yeah. You have got the nation talking, though, about brown and red sauce.
I know it's controversial. The red and brown sauce is a controversial subject amongst a lot of households. It's the same with, do you call it a barm cake or a bap or a muffin?
Yeah.
That one rumbles on as well.
It's a bap, innit? Although we say cob as well in Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, I would
yeah.
usually say roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, bread
It's just a
roll,
roll.
cob.
Yeah. So many different words. But that's what's great, isn't it? That there's different lingo everywhere.
Absolutely.
Steve, congratulations and well done.
Oh, yeah, look,
thanks for
Steve,
being on with us today. That was wonderful.
I was beaten by the better man on the day. That's
Yeah.
that's
Are you
a
all
very
right,
good
Tim?
look.
Can you deal
I'm
with
okay.
it?
I'm okay. I've got other stuff going on. but yep.
Fabulous. Thanks, Steve. Have a great weekend. Yeah?
Yep.
Any reason why?
No.
Okay,
Yep.
You've done it.
Yep.
So Tim, let's just mention your book again.
Yes.
Your poetry book, Chapters. It's out now.
It is.
And you can get it from wherever you get your books from.
Yeah, bookshops, really.
Bookshops, really.
Yeah.
Thanks for being in today.
My pleasure.
I hope you managed to get your train on time.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I've got a radio show coming out on Tuesday.
Have you?
Yeah, new series. And my producer will kill me if I don't mention it.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
6:30, Radio 4, next
Yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Fabulous.
I'm serious.
You're plugging everything today, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, the book, the radio show, and Amy Massarella.
Fabulous. Cheers, Tim.